Here's something that's weird, phenomenal, and if you have any type of conspiracy theory, this would open your eyes completely wide. They found a tunnel in Toronto, a very elaborate tunnel, and it looks like it's just recently made, and ironically, it's where the Pan-Am Games are going to take place. It's about 6 feet wide, and it goes underneath, and it's near the University of Toronto campus. Am I correct?
I think it's near is it York where it was? York. It's near where they're going to have the tennis. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, near the Rexall Center. Sorry, not University of Toronto, York University, right?
Yes.
And it's bizarre, and the police are dumbfounded, and they're asking for the help of the public, if anybody knows who built it. But here's my thing. How do you build a tunnel like that with nobody noticing?
The only thing I can say is if you've been around that area, they're consistently redeveloping and doing all kinds of construction.
So you need to know too. I played a lot of hockey in that area. There's lots of security. There's lots of police. There's lots of ground security. There's no way you can do anything without a permit, or they're going to come and check. I don't believe that. I think that it's a place that there's lots of cars for the safety of the students, for the safety of the people, because there's been a lot of theft in that area. So there's lots of people. There's a lot of peeps around. I just don't understand how you build a tunnel like that.
How big a tunnel was it, Frank?
Well, it's really, I didn't go see it myself, but with the news, they make it seem like it's a tunnel that goes right down. It's very elaborate, and it looks like it's been used by somebody, and it goes underneath. And it's dug out, and it seems to be done properly. So they're freaking out if this is just if non-criminal, or if this is something more greater, that there was a master plan for people to do something in that tunnel, or I don't understand, or if there's some university people who are very smart and used it as a place to go hang out. I don't know, the mole people, I don't know. The Goonies, they didn't find any Goonies down there.
Yeah, just been passing over. The tunnel was 7 meters long, 2.5 meters tall.
Wow, that's pretty intricate.
7 meters, yeah, 22, 23 feet, and 2 meters tall, did you say, Barry? 2?
2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 meters tall. So it's 8, 9 feet then. 8 feet tall.
It's like a trailer home underground.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a lot of dirt. Where did they put that dirt?
Here's where they said it. Just a little more about it. That the police talking about it. After exploring the tunnel, they found an electric generator, a few tools, food, and drink containers. They also found a rosary with a Remembrance Day poppy hung on the wall of the tunnel with a nail. So it is. They don't know who constructed the container, but said it's clear the person or persons had some level of expertise in ensuring its structural integrity. Please.
Exactly. That's what's, And the other thing is, Perry, where's the dirt? Where did they put the dirt?
No, I think you know what, Frank.
Where everybody
whoever put the drains up in that area is the guy who put it in there for his working crew. I'll bet you, what other reason would there be?
Here's what it said. An investigation has determined that the chamber was used at some point during the winter. And Bill, your theory would seem to hold some sort of logic that, yeah, it is absolutely freezing right now. If they needed a place to just basically warm up and they created a tunnel, that may
So how come nobody's come forth and claimed responsibility for the tunnel?
Because probably if you explain why you did it without having permission to do it, you didn't have a permit, you're opening yourself up to a potential lawsuit.
You'd be better off to go straight up to the police so they don't have to spend taxpayers' money and try to figure out if this was a terrorist move, or, the cops got to, they got to cross the T's and dot the I's. You don't think it would be worthwhile to admit if you were part of it?
Here's another thing. There was no indication that the tunnel was a threat to the public security, which is why people were not notified sooner.
How many feet down was it? How many feet underground?
I think
30?
I think it's 6 feet. 6 feet.
Like long, yeah.
Anyway, the police are posted a number for people to
How
call.
did you find it, Perry?
It's a good question.
Well, somebody found it. I read that somebody found it and reported it to the police.
It was found by a conservation officer in the heavily wooded area near the Rexall Center, York University campus, near the future site of the Pan Am Games. Specifically, that's where they're going to be having a lot of their tennis.
It's near the Rexall tennis courts.
Yeah, that's where that's one of the 11 areas, I think, throughout the GTA where they're going to have various sites and.
Well, I'd be freaked out if I was in the law enforcement. I'd be a little freaked out. A tunnel. It's not a big fat groundhog. This is a pretty big tunnel, and they found it set up for people to hang out. So I'm sure that the forensic guys are going to go through the whole thing.
And now here's another thing. A pulley system with buckets was used to excavate the dirt. And you're asking, how did they get rid of the dirt? Where's the dirt? The only thing you could say here is it's better they found it now than found it close to the Pan Am Games, that it really would have been a threat. Now it's, it is something that they're going to have to examine, but it potentially could have been really, really tenuous.
Pan Am Games have used it as a setup. They need the publicity. What the hell damage is it going to do? How did they get in? Was there a lid on the top? Is that how they climbed through into it?
Yeah, from the top down. Yeah, from the top down. It shows a picture here of a ladder, and there's a
ladder, and the top part of it was covered. It was camouflaged to look like the surroundings.
Yeah.
And once you push that away, there's a ladder that goes down 6 or 7 feet or 8 feet.
Okay.
And it's like a from what I'm reading, it's like a regular 8-9 foot ladder that goes down, and you go down, and then there's this long tunnel that's basically like living in a cottage or a trailer. Those trailers that they sell.
Anyway, I mean, the reality is, again, they've posted a phone number, and they're going to be exploring this, and I'm sure that later today or tomorrow we'll find out more information about who it is, why it was done, and wherever the story's going to go.
It's a little weird to find something that intricate that nobody knows about, and nobody's taking responsibility for. And like I said, it's a lot of dirt for it not to be obvious, So somebody had to get rid of that dirt. So, it could be some people in construction did that, but I find that highly unlikely.
What's the time frame for building it, Frank? Are people saying it was built within the last 10 years, 20 years?
I would say it's a recent product, but the police are saying it's recent that there was somebody inhabiting that place. They don't know for how long. And Perry told you that there was a heater in there, and that there was some artifacts in there.
Again, there was an electronic generator, a few tools, food and drink containers. So somebody was obviously, inhabiting the place.
Probably could have killed them too.
I'm sorry?
An electronic generator, if it's not open to the air, the carbon monoxide given off will kill you.
Not electronic, Billy. If it was gas or diesel, a person would die down there.
Okay, so electronic is not that.
Electronic, so they must have went somewhere to have that battery charged.
Yeah.
And then bring it back down, right? So it's got to be something more than what it is, and the police will find it. Toronto's finest are pretty sharp, and we have the resources and to see if it was just somebody who built it and to just make a shelter, or some of the university guys are smart enough to do something like that. The dirt is the thing that impresses me. Like in the movie Shawshank Redemption, he used to walk every day for 3 years, 4 years. I know it was only a movie, and when he was digging the tunnel in his cell, he would have the dirt in his pockets, and he would just walk it off. But this tunnel is pretty big, so I would say it'd be a lot of dirt. Hey, Perry?
Yeah, and if you want to take it in that vein, to take it one step further, the day before, there was a big news story out of Canada that Al-Shabaab had a threat against the West Edmonton Mall. They had basically indicated various places that they would hit. So if you're looking at this from a security threat, which it may or may not have been, it may have been something very innocent, somebody built it for whatever reason, they left it. comes at a time when there's these security threats going on around the
Well,
world.
there's a lot of paranoia, right?
Yeah.
And also, this would be a great bunker if somebody did something bad and wanted to disappear and escape from the police. This would be a great place for them to hide. So that's
But you'd have to know that it was there. If you're on the lam from the police, you either built it yourself or somebody built it for you to escape the police, which would be a hell of a story if that actually was what it was all about.
That's one of the hypotheses that is going on in from what I've read of some of law enforcement, that's what they think that this thing was used for.
Well, if that's the case, then they'd put in people there that have the ability, forensic people, to go in there and check it out and to try and look for prints or anything to get them some idea.
It also could be, this is one of the things that have come up, it could be a safe house for criminals. If the police are looking for somebody in Toronto, that's a safe house where, it's very hard for the police to find somebody there.
Yeah, where, it's not on university grounds, it's on...
it's near Steeles. I'll give you the area. It's near Steeles, between Jane and Keele, just north of Finch, in that corridor, near Pioneer Village.
Oh, yeah.
But it's near the Rexall Center, which is...
the tennis, yeah.
Where they play tennis there, they do concerts there.
Are you still there, Frank?
I'm here.
Okay. To put it in a geographic context, from where we do this show right now, it would drive about half an hour to 45 minutes east of here. Basically fairly, northeast of here.
Yeah, so it's in that area. I'm just trying to give you that corridor, right?
Yep.
If you take Jane and you take Keele, right, and Steeles and Finch, it's in that corridor, right? And that's where the campus for York University is. That's where Rexall Center is. That's where the big rink is, where the York University team plays, right? So it's a big area.
As I said to you, if you've been around that area recently, you're going to see construction beyond belief. So like I said, I am not surprised that you would see something like that, because there's just so much development, construction going on around the area. It's not like somebody would be doing it.
And they have 24-hour security.
Well, obviously it's not...
If you're familiar with that area, Perry, but if you walk around there or drive around there, there's security all the time. It's going to be very difficult not to be noticed with a backhoe digging a trench or a tunnel or a hole, right? Because here's the thing. It's one thing to dig a hole going 6 feet down, right? Like a manhole. Then you're putting a tunnel down there. And it's somebody who has some sort of experience in structure and engineering. So the dirt didn't fall on them.